Hello everyone, and welcome to this video in which I will be presenting some of the results of the 2014 to 2017 strategy. I will give some examples within the 5 pillars of that strategy, namely advocacy, capacity building, knowledge and network sharing, communications, and growing the movement. So firstly, on advocacy, we said we would develop exemplary and inspiring evidence-based political statements and visions. And here I will give the examples of the inactivity time bomb that we did together with Coca-Cola, consisting of a report done by the Centre for Economics and Business Research in the UK. We did the promotion of that report and the outcomes, specifically in videos and several infographics, as well as at a launch event in Brussels. And I think a good example of an opportunity that we took that came along. We said we would create platforms for members and stakeholders to align their messages and statements. Here we'll give the examples of the Active Voice project, which is combining several international organizations with national organizations, namely ISCA members. And in this project we are also launching a social media campaign trying to combine the outreach of these different organizations. We said we would implement strategic, goals-based advocacy, primarily via public presentations, meetings, and political communications. And here we mentioned examples that we've done 3 times, in fact, going to the European Parliament and not only interviewing and engaging with the parliamentarians, but also making sure that they were physically active and playing along with us. And we think that they've been good sports, not least Mr. Sean Kelly, that you can see in the picture here. He's an MEP from Ireland. We've adapted a concept from Italy and we called it movement pills and used it quite effectively also in our external political communications. So that's another example of our thinking of this approach. Moving on to capacity building, we said we would be the creator and broker of knowledge in our sector, and we would analyze the key needs and priorities of our members and spot trends and develop new concepts here. And I would like to say that we feel we have good contact with our members ongoing through projects and activities. We've also tried to more systematically survey the members' needs and wishes so that we could have a more systematic view on what ISCA should do for them. When it comes to new topics, we've done and tested several ones. Here are 5 examples, named good governance, engaging with hard-to-reach populations, active voice, focusing on advocacy, integration of refugees through sport, and the very new concept of grassroots sports diplomacy, which in fact is starting from scratch and it's a new idea. We said we would grow the capacity of our member organizations by offering and enabling them to join high quality campaigns and projects. Here I've mentioned move quality and move transfer, with move quality being building the capacity of existing initiatives, and move transfer trying to scale up good initiatives or to transfer them indeed from one country to another one. When it comes to campaigns, needless to say, the Now We Move campaign has been a major part of what we do, and I'll show you here some of the examples of the activities underneath that campaign that took place in 2016. So not only do we have the Move Week that started in 2012, we've also implemented the European No Elevators Day. Now We Bike as a European cross-border biking tour, the European Flash Move, and the European Fitness Day. In the end, I've mentioned also the European School Sport Day, which is being implemented together with our member organization from Hungary, the Hungarian School Sport Federation, and a good example of a collaborative effort within the Now We Move campaign. We also said we build useful tools for ISCA members, both on and offline. And here I will mention 2 examples, the good governance tools, namely the manual and not least the online self-assessment tool. I will also mention the Move and Learn manual, which is available online with several exercises and examples, and fundamentally trying to enable and engage our sector to use more the so-called education through sport methodology. Then knowledge and network sharing. Here we said we would identify and share best practices by developing new externally funded projects. We've done that a lot. Here are some examples of good practices collections, namely within movement spaces, integration of refugees, the MOVE project, the FAM project focusing on women in sport, and several others. And I think this is a good example of what ISCA is doing and seeing it itself as doing, namely sharing what works, sharing practice rather than theory indeed. We also said we would facilitate networking between our members by establishing a thematic network and supporting bilateral agreements. We had mentioned the Moving Age Network, which had its conference last year in Trieste, Italy, supported by a web page and a survey and the publishing of good practices, and indeed led by Mr. Harald Hartmann. So this is an example of a network that's actually working and active, whereas some of the others have been more dormant in the last period. On publications, we said we would implement ISCA's corporate marketing communication strategy and deliver consistent and innovative communications, both for the campaigns, Now We Move and Move Brazil, Move Week in Latin America, but also for our ongoing projects. Here, with the Move Week as an example, we've had extraordinary reach, in fact, and with Move Week peaking in 2015, you can see here some of the numbers of that communications reach. We communicated via multimedia, both TV, online, and mobile. We use social media to a large degree, both Facebook, Twitter, but also other channels. But we also consistently use on-site promotion, printing and using bracelets, t-shirts, posters, etc. And of course our members and national coordinators, move agents of the campaign, did the same. Finally, I'd mention our public relations work, trying to get earned media attention, mainly by contacting media outlets and trying to have them publish stories about the campaign. Moving on then to growing the movement, the last pillar of the strategy, we said would enable continental development with a minimum on each active continent, mediating networks and organizing one meeting or gathering every second year. In Latin America, a key continent here, we mentioned Move Week, Move Brazil, as well as Youth on the Move and some bilateral programs. Two examples here, Youth on the Move, an ongoing, just recently closed EU-funded project building and training young people to deliver the Now We Move campaign and Move Week, both in Latin America and in Europe. And I think a good example of how to use externally funded projects to also build capacities in Latin America. ISCA has also established a bilateral agreement with SENA, an education institution in Colombia, and with that agreement it was possible for Dubai in Spain and SENA in Colombia to work and to build and enhance their networks and capacities. We are trying to continue to work with Colombia, both with SENA and Spain at organization time. We said we'd increase ISCA membership over the period by systematically recruiting new members and engaging more with existing ones. And we can say that the growth in membership has certainly succeeded. While we don't have a specific measure as to say how much a member has been active, at least in terms of the number of members that has been growing quite rapidly. When it comes to the financial situation, we wanted to increase on all fronts, both unrestricted funding, external public funding, and external corporate funding, as well as our equity. But we also wanted to help our members to develop their financial capacities. And looking at the financial sheet here, you can see that we didn't manage to meet those goals. We had a rather, I would say, stable development and consistent development when it comes to our unrestricted funding, external EU funding, but we didn't manage to grow as much as we wanted, so that's an important discussion to discuss. Finally, I mentioned that we set out as a goal to establish strategic alliances by maintaining and initiating selective cross-sector partnerships. And here I've just mentioned the Move Congress as an example, not only of a platform that's good, I think, for our members and other stakeholders, but also for each case to establish these sort of partnerships and to illustrate really this cross-sector collaboration that is really at the core of what we do. So that's it from my side. This is a few words on how I see the implementation of the recent strategy period by illustrating with a few examples of some of the outcomes that we have achieved. So I look forward to the discussion and to getting the feedback and as well as input to future reflection. Thank you very much.